This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning and welcome to Djuma Private Game Reserve. We are currently looking at a beautiful wildebeest. It is a nice morning. We will be reporting live this morning from Djuma, Pride Lands and also Finda. We really hope to find great animals. So jump on board and welcome to your very own live safari from the African bush. Hello again. So we're currently on quarantine at Djuma Private Game Reserve. It is a beautiful morning. It is a bit cooler today, this morning, but it seems to be, it's going to be a beautiful day. My name is Cedric and I have Morgan on camera with me. So our plan this morning on our side would be to go check Gowrie Dam. Apparently there was some audio of lions on that side earlier this morning. And then we will make our way to Tswalu. We are very excited to go and drive this morning. I think it might be a good day. And it's always good to be out and enjoying the bush. Yeah, yesterday was quite a nice drive with leopards, and we really hope to find new for me to find maybe Tingana or another leopard. But on the other side, I would really appreciate if we can find some lions as well. I like spending time with lions. Okay, I will make my way now, and let's see what we can find. Yeah, so it is a beautiful weather this morning here, so let's go see what is the weather at the other locations.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Djuma Private Game Reserve. Of course, here it looks like a very nice morning. It looks like it's going to be as warm. And my name is Andrew. I have Theo on camera. So we started to look around in this area of quarantine. It's actually been a leopard tracks in this area, moving around, but got a few vehicles checking on the other side there. So yeah, this is what we're going to be doing this morning. Remember, everybody, you can talk to us on #WildEarth on Twitter and as well as on at FC YouTube channel. And then if you are under the age of 18, you can still pop us an email on kidsquestions@wildearth.tv, or simple way you go register on Wild Earth website. Head over to the live safari page and you can submit your question there. So myself, I'll be working around Djuma. Cedric is going to be working pretty much in Chito there, where he's going to be checking around, and might have a mic in Pride Land also, who would be probably doing some exercising walk for us. And then Grant probably on Pinda. Also, they will be probably joining us later on. So we're going to be working around here, see what we're going to find for everybody this morning. So let's go over to Grant in Pinda, who would like to say hello to everybody.
Thanks to Andrew, and yes, a good morning to all of you at home. And bizarrely, we're starting the show on Phinda. I think it must be for the first time ever with hyenas. This is... Oh, look at that. Do you see that? So my name is Grant, and behind the camera we have Johan. And yeah, we've decided to come out, head towards the airstrip where we were yesterday afternoon, for those of you that were with us, and to see if we could find those cheetah. And we were just talking about hyenas and what could have gone to the remains of that impala carcass. And we came across these three that are actually feeding on an old giraffe carcass. It's probably around about 4 months old. There's, I don't know if you can see the third, but it's going far at the back. It doesn't seem as interested as these two. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Johan. But these two are feeding on the scraps, which is amazing. And that looks like a younger one that Johan's got on the screen for you. If you look at its legs and the bottom half of its body, it's still quite dark. And it's quite fluffy looking. Go ahead, Damon. Keep making your way, is it third?
Thank you. Mobile from Rocky,
Wow, that one's got a rib bone. So you might see that blue on the one's neck. That's the telemetry collar. And you'll see the coloration of that one with the collar on. It's much lighter. Now, comparing to the hyenas that you all affectionately know on Djuma, we do not have the same kind of relationship with these hyenas. Myself personally, I don't know the individuals, just because of the fact that this is completely bizarre for me to see hyenas like this on Phinda. I mean, in 3 years, I don't think I've had a sighting like this. Yeah, Judy, that's exactly what I was just about to say. Is like, in 3.5 years on Phinda, I haven't had a hyena experience like this. I mean, we have the den, which there's 2 dens that we can go to, that if they are active, we can get a look at the hyenas. But most of the den sites on the reserve are inaccessible, and so we don't get to see hyenas unless they're at the accessible dens. And then when we see them out in the bush, when they are out foraging or on the prowl looking for hunting opportunities or scavenging opportunities, when we come across them, they usually just tend to run away. And so to see them like this is really special. Oh, copy that, Stammer 1, Dino. Charlie, the data, so the telemetry collar, it's a telemetry collar for tracking purposes, for finding the hyenas, so to see when we actually need to find a specific hyena, or find where they might be denning or spending a lot more time. But this collar is actually sorry, a GPS collar, and it basically pings locations. So we gather data and information on the movements of these hyenas. So the hyena population on Phinda is quite we've got quite a good population, quite a healthy population, but the animals on Phinda, the hyenas on Phinda, tend to move quite a lot, and we think that it's because of the density of the vegetation. So the bush being so thick, it's harder for them to find kills to scavenge from. So the predators have more success in hiding their kills, more especially leopards and lions. They have more success in hiding and keeping their kills. And so we don't often see hyenas scavenging on lion and leopards' kills. We actually find them on Phinda making a lot of their own kills, but also traveling enormous distances. And that's the purposes of these collars is the collar that's on this hyena is for GPS tracking. And so it will show us, it will ping locations of that hyena. I'm not sure of the frequency or how often. Oh, look at this one's coming towards us. So I was just saying I'm not too sure of how often...
Excuse me.
Bless you. How often those GPS coordinates will be logged, or those GPS positions. But it helps us to see where the hyenas are moving. I mean, we've had hyenas from Phinda traveling as far as 24 kilometers. You see now, as soon as the second vehicle is arriving behind us, I can just hear it creeping up, and the hyenas are already starting to change their behavior. That's amazing, hey? Look at that. There they go. Yeah, as the second vehicle arrives, they just go.
So we're currently at Gary Dam. It is very quiet here, except for a few birds. But it is very nice, very peaceful. We did saw on the way here some lions tracks, but it looked like it went into the block. However, while we were sitting here, we did get audio of a lion roaring a bit far from here. So I think next when we will be moving, we will head in that direction. Yeah, but not much is happening at the dam this morning, which is usually normal. Obviously, the animal like to go drink a bit later during the day when it gets warmer. But it is always nice to spend some time and listen to the birds. There is also a grey heron on top of that tree there, looking around. Even it's a bit cold for this heron to be in the water this morning. Standing on top of a tree, waiting, actually looking at the sunrise. Yeah, we really hope to find this lion. I don't think it will be a very easy task because it was quite far, but we'll definitely try our best to find this lion. I'm just waiting a few minutes here and see what happens, and then we will make our way. The sun is starting to rise, not out yet, but it looked like it's going to be a beautiful sunrise. As you can see, the colors are beautiful.
So everybody, we are still around here quarantined, but it's amazing now we've got all the wildebeest returning back to this area, but also mixed with the impalas. But it's a way of survive, also get around, and they're all going to be looking out for any approach. It's been an audio of a lion here, single male lion that was calling all night, and the track leading straight south. So now, with the impala, since the female don't have horn, only males grow horn, where the wildebeest, male and the females grow horn, just like a buffalo. You can see all over, just looks like a stripe, but it's all over hairy. The duck perch or the stripe, kind of like a fold of a skin, but it's provide now visible of a stripe on that animal. And so there are blue wildebeest. We're going to be sitting around here, probably tracking down on that male line, see how far it goes. And I'm going to be sending you across to Grant to say hello to everybody in Prideland. No.
You are joining us here where there are some dramatic events unfolding. We've been hearing lions on a carcass the whole morning, and now we have a hyena here at this dam in Ndlovu Dam that seems to be very interested in a young impala we can refuge near our camp. Everyone, my name is Mike Anderson. Behind the camera is Impo, and this is Ecotraining's Pridelands Conservancy, where we're really invested now to see what's about to happen this morning. It's a little bit windy. It was very windy last night, and I said that I think that animals will hunt successfully, and it looks like we're in the middle of a hunt. That hyena that you can see there is watching. The wind is blowing directly from that impala towards the hyena. Oh, look, there's the impala. It's on the move. Let's just see. Is it walking okay? It looks a bit sick or weak, this impala. It looks like it might even have run through the water. So it looks wet and haggard, but it's trying to move now. And if it doesn't, it's moving directly into our camp, which is actually good for the impala, but not great for the hyena. But I'm sure now that it's moving, the hyena will spot it. And that will give us an opportunity to see what this hyena is going to do. Is it going to chase this impala some more? Can't see the impala anymore. I think that this impala that was just here was from a herd that lions hunted successfully last night. We had word that 6 lions had moved onto Pridelands from the north, And I think that they attacked one of these impalas. This one ran and escaped, but in doing so, attracted the attention of this hyena, and this hyena has chased the witness earlier, but now we can just see the one. I can't see the impala anymore. We don't want to move around too much because we will disturb this hyena's hunting. And I know that we always go for the underdog. We always sort of root for the prey to escape, but it's very important that these hyenas get enough food. They've got lots of youngsters at the moment. I'm just going to use my binoculars just to have a look. The hyena keeps looking towards us. Looks like a youngish hyena. Bex, it's amazing watching hyenas interact, not only with each other, with lions, with other animals like these impala. It always is very, very interesting because they're so underrated. People don't really think of them as these amazing... Oh, it's coming this way. It's walking towards us. Or rather towards where the impala was. Has it gone behind those bushes, Paul? It's still got it. It's a young hyena, youngish hyena. It's still very bright. It's got lots of spots, fluffy. So maybe that's why it hasn't managed to catch this impala. It might be a little bit, inexperienced. Oh, this is very dramatic. So it's come to a bit of a stalemate now. We might try and see if we can move to a slightly different position where we can maybe see what that impala is doing, but without getting closer, without disturbing the hunt. And remember, there is lions in the area somewhere. So if we discover what's happening here, or if the impala runs off and it all ends, then we'll try and see if we can relocate or find that pride of lions that seems to have caught something not so far from our camp. But while we do that, we'll keep you updated. In the meantime, we'll send you back to Andrew at Djuma.
So everybody, we're still sitting here, but just looking at the sunrise, but also the impalas feeding around there. And these wildebeest haven't yet come out of that bush there, but they will be soon, because it's such a nice, beautiful open area here. But for them, it's always a good idea to hang around with impalas. So they're probably going to be around together, and it's going to be one of the warm day as well, so it's always idea of them going down to drink later on. And this impala, they slightly fluffy because of the weather. It's still dropped down this morning, but when it's warmer coming up, and they will look shiny again. The coat will be fixed. They would definitely look like they've been oiled. They are one of the beautiful animals out here. Shante, so you say this is such a magical sighting. It is, looking at all of a golden of a rise. but the color of this animal as well as the scenery. So it's indeed very right, such a stunning sighting. Seen few males in this group. Maybe it happened, the dominant male isn't around, because then otherwise you would try to push them off. Always they get close to the females, and then it's always for him to really move them off, because now it's actually still right in kind of like end, but still some of the impala, some of them already conceived, some of them there will be still. Let's take that listening around. Such a stunning sound, body of a line, way distance. I think this is the tracks that we're always behind. So we're gonna move south and then just to see how far that male
I'm Maggie, also known as Mia My Cat on Twitter. I purchased the Ticket to Dream so that I would make it back to Africa someday, so here I am. I enjoy Wild Earth very much. Just the experience it brings to everybody, it just helps everybody cope with things.
If you want to go on safari with a Wild Earth guide, whilst honing your bush knowledge and of course featuring in one of our shows, then head over to our website.
My favorite part about today is seeing Mariggs, seeing him stalk the waterbuck and seeing the interaction between the waterbuck and him, and he's just an impressive little guy.
Sign up to be a Wild Earth explorer and you could be making your first ever on-screen appearance.
It's very exciting to be on a live drive at Juma, to see how things work in the back and to be certainly much closer to the animals.
As one of the industry's best and FAGASA endorsed training institutes, NJ Moorfield Guide College produces professional guides of exceptional caliber and gives students from around the world an incredible experience. NJ Moore offers courses to suit all types of interests. The full-length career course results in a FAGASA accredited qualification and the option of a 6-month internship at one of Moore Family Collection's luxury safari lodges. Shorter courses are a great introduction for those considering a career in field guiding or even a life-enriching experience in your gap year. With spaces still available in July, don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to live your African dream.
My name is Ross and I'm a field guide at and Beyond Pinda Private Game Reserve. I love getting questions from guests on Wild Earth because I love sharing and learning information about nature with new people, and it also makes me feel like you're all joining me in real life. If you want to ask a question on Wild Earth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, go to our live safari page and submit your question below our live feed.
So everybody, I went over the radio just to confirm, because we just had an audio of a lion that was calling not long ago, and then that's Gary Main, so probably he was on Gary Main, the boundary, but then he headed south. So it just looked like we weren't going to be having visual there of him. So I'm going to stick around. It's been a drag mark. The guys have been following around just the north of the Djuma camp itself. So I'm just gonna see if I'll go assist. So let's cross over the Grant and then with a Roman cat.
Welcome back, everyone. And we just got up to the airstrip where we were yesterday afternoon here on Pinda, and we went to check where those cheetah had their impala, and there was nothing left, only hyena tracks and some drag marks where they were walking around with the kill. And on a road that approaches the airstrip, one of the other rangers managed to find some lions. And it looks as though that cub is in a pounce position. So we're going to just wait and see what comes around the corner. Wait for the pounce. No pounds? Oh, sibling. Going for its sibling. So this is lioness and 4. Look how excited that cub is that's trotting next to mom. And they are walking straight towards us. So we're not going to go anywhere. And just watch the sunlight. There's going to be some beautiful morning light. I can't resist the urge, but I'm going to take a picture. Because that is beautiful. And are you ready? Because we are going to get surrounded by lions. Well, they might not go on both sides, but they're definitely going to walk past us very close. Chasey, these lions are part of the mountain pride. You know, it's actually not the lioness and 4. It's lioness and 3 and one of the older females. That's part of the pride, but she's joined up with these lions. So I'm just going to turn around because it seems like they're heading up towards the airstrip where we actually were with those cheetah yesterday afternoon. Let's see what they do, because just before we saw them, as we were coming around this corner, we saw some wildebeest running towards us, and then they ran past us and up towards the airstrip. So I'm just going to turn around here. So it seems like yes, Olive, that was such a treat to have them walk right past us like that. These lions really are amazing. So that, for those of you that were with us yesterday, the airstrip saw the thicker bush on the sides of the airstrip and onto the open clearings, and these lions are very smart, they know that, so it looks as though they're heading towards the airstrip. You'll see the two, let's stop like that, and you'll see two of them are a little bit bigger. So the one on the far right and very shortly the one on the far left of your screen. That's a lioness and an older cub. So the one on the left has had her own litter of cubs. And she's actually the niece of the biggest lioness that you can see here. And then the three smaller ones, those are over a year old now, probably approaching 18 months. 16 to 18 months, somewhere around there. So they are, as you can see, on quite a mission. I'm quite sure that they're going to pop out on the airstrip. If not, they might head towards some water. And so we're going to send you off to Andrew for now. And I think it will be really nice to try and get up ahead of these lions again and have them walk towards us.
Everybody also driving on a bumble now, so since it's quite a few cars that are actually following up on the drag mark that they've seen just north of the camp, so we're gonna let them do that. Hopefully they get luck and they will let us know. But in the meantime, we're gonna be searching around for anything else we're gonna find. So I'm actually heading south for now, in case that audio of a male lion that we heard, I know it's probably crossed south, but you never know. He may turn around north again towards the boundary there where we can see him. Everybody, I'm going to be sending you across to Pinda with the lion again.
Welcome back. See. Oh my word, these three youngsters are having such a time. There's a big tree just to the left of us and they were all sharpening their claws, and shame. They felt like they were getting left behind, so they all quickly darted off to try and catch up with the lionesses. Look at the body language of the lionesses in the front. They're not interested in playing. They're looking for... They are on the prowl. They are what we call on the prowl. Look at that. Stopped. Ears flat. And see the cub that's turned towards us has now seen it, and it sounds like a waterbuck. Oh, there. Can you see it, Johan? If you go to the right of this big thicket, go in there. Go in there. Yeah, there's a waterbuck. But look at the waterbuck. It's busy snorting through its nostrils. So it's seen the lions, but that is not deterring the cubs. The cubs have all three of the youngsters have just gone straight in the direction of that waterbuck, and that's why you can see the waterbuck has decided it's had enough. But the two lionesses not interested. They realized that the waterbuck had seen them, was not going to be a hunting opportunity. But the cubs just couldn't resist the opportunity. There comes one cub, and I'm sure the other two are going to join as well. Adrian? You're asking who the dominant male is of this pride? And so that would be formerly the Bayala males. There were two of them. Some of you may know, but if you do not, one of those males was killed by the dominant coalition in the north of the reserve. And so these lions here, they now only have one dominant male.
They started to male cheetah are in the sightings as well now on the airstrip. That is great. Join that rotation from number 206. Matt, can I also join the rotation? If you just got to the airstrip, turn around.
Uh-oh. Okay,
just check with Leon for you might be a little bit closer than him.
the cheetah, I've just heard on the radio that the two male cheetah from last night are actually on the airstrip, which is literally just 100 meters this way.
Okay.
Look like they're running. They're chasing the cheetah. Look at the cheetah. Look at the cheetah going. And we're going up to the airstrip. Hold on. We drove past at some stage. We drove past those cheetah. They were lying on the mound here.
As a third, I think Joey is also in Bobedi, and I'll be a fourth.
Yeah. And the cubs chased the cheetah. There go the cheetah far down the airstrip. You see them, Johan? Okay. See this cub? To the left. There's the two cheetah going further down.
See it.
See how the cheetah is just looking back?
Dean, is that you at the apron? Matt, I'm just waiting for Lennox to come past so I can turn around. Dean, these cheetah have gone highly mobile north along the airstrip. I think carry on making your way. If you go up Chabalala from Quasi North, you can continue towards that side before they disappear.
I'm gonna go to the cheetah. Sorry guys, so it was a bit of chaos, and now there's a lot of cars that want to come, so we just watched this lion walk past us, and then I think we're going to follow the cheetah, because for now there's quite a queue of cars wanting to come to these lions.
So you can join, keep making your way to the lion side in the third.
Cool. Amazing. Jeez, how hectic was that? So the cheetah, I'm chuffed that the cheetah managed to get away. And the older, wiser lionesses have stayed further back over there. So it was only really the cubs that gave chase to the cheetahs. Which is good. I don't think the lionesses actually saw the cheetah first. I think the cubs saw the cheetah first. Just what a morning already, hey? We had those hyenas and lions and now cheetah. We're gonna stick with these cheetah and follow them as far as we can. They're gonna keep moving now to get a comfortable distance away from those lions.
So we just crossed over to Tswalu. Crossed over to Tswalu. Report of a sighting of dogmen. Unfortunately, he crossed over in a block where we are not allowed to go. So we're going to try our luck here and see what we can find.
Welcome back, everyone. And surprisingly relaxed, these cheetah. There's an impala strutting away from them on the airstrip. They're not interested in hunting right now, though. See the one cheetah just looking back. So just as they're walking, they're looking back, but they are incredibly relaxed, considering they've just been chased by 5 lions. I would be looking a lot more nervous than them, I think. They're just carrying on. And I suppose it is part of life for them. We are still with the cheetah, and they are just slowly moving in the opposite direction of the lions, and I can confirm that the lions have not continued to follow the cheetah, which is excellent. The lions have gone in a different direction. Now there are still some animals left on the airstrip from last night. And the cheetah are heading straight towards a wildebeest that's much further down the airstrip. So we'll see what he does. He'll probably snort at them, but eventually he'll lose his nerve and he'll run off into the bushes. And there is also impalas that have moved off the open clearing of the airstrip and just into the bushes on the edge, which we can hear in the distance, alarm calling at the cheetah.
Gone off into the block on the right hand side, behind my vehicle.
Sorry, has it gone east or west down towards the valley?
Sorry, I don't know east or west there, and my events is offloaded off my phone. It's headed on the right hand side towards either in the open grassy plain.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, this is just special, hey? I'm gonna keep us going. And we'll see if we can get a little bit closer to the cheetah once again. But so often we talk about what is dangerous to the cheetah, what could potentially happen out here. So it is great to see that sort of interaction. I'm not too sure how much was caught on camera. Those moving away from the lions, they didn't actually even go into full sprints. They basically jumped and sort of loped away through the long grass and just to get out onto this open airstrip, and then they really went fast. What's that?
I think we're riding close to Valley View on the hillside.
So we've left Lower Dam, as you can tell. We're in the bushes now. We've been heading southeast from the camp. We left because the hyenas had moved off and that impala was now lying down. It looked like it had run through water. It was very tired and weak, and so we just moved out of the way just to let nature happen. It's unlikely that those hyenas will come into the camp to hunt it, maybe this evening, but not during the day. So we decided to leave, and we've headed southeast. We're looking for that pride of lions that we could hear this morning early, feasting on something. And it sounds like we were just stopping here, preparing to talk to you all, and we heard something in that direction. Sounded like a growl, sounded like something, maybe. So we're going to head down there and just investigate what it might have been. But you can see it is quite thick, and this is the perfect environment for these lions to camouflage in. They could be lying low after having full bellies, eating something, maybe an impala, maybe, I don't know, a kudu or something. And so as we walk, we need to be extremely vigilant. We need to be listening, stepping carefully, avoiding making too much noise, so that if we do find these animals, we don't disturb them, but also being vigilant enough that we don't end up stepping on their tails. If they're deeply asleep after having a big meal, sometimes they can sleep quite soundly, and we might end up getting very close to them before they realize, and that wouldn't be comfortable for them or us. Trust me, I can tell you that much from experience. So as we walk, we're looking for movement in the grass, tails flicking, we're looking for the ears, we're looking for those heads that might just pop up above the grass as they hear us. Listening for sounds. There might still be something left of the carcass that they're feeding on, the last bits. Most of them might be lying down resting. Some might still be feeding. So we might still hear arguing every now and again. I think my fingers are crossed. I hope that we can find something down here. We've tried to find things down here before, but it's very thick, this environment, so who knows what we might find. It's very exciting, though. So whilst we continue our search, I will send you over to Pinder, who's got some cheetahs that are on the move.
Look at that. Cheetah on a termite mound. Although it's not the biggest, it is definitely a termite mound. And they were both just scent marking, doing a bit of scraping on the ground. Let's see if that one on the right is going to do it again. How stunning is that, with the morning, beautiful golden morning light shining on them? Wow. Oh, both of them are now defecating on that termite mound. Also part of their scent marking. That's a prominent feature in this landscape, that termite mound. So any cheetah that comes past the airstrip will, without a doubt, go and visit that termite mound, see if there has been any other cheetahs past this particular spot in the recent or in the last few days. So they'll smell the scent marking and then use the Jacobson's organ to determine which individual left the scent mark. This is really special, eh? Oh, he's coming straight towards us, Johan, this one on the right. Hello, boy. Wow. Whoops. They do, Lisa. That is from the impala that they ate yesterday. And how close is that? Look at that. You can see the bulge of the belly in the silhouette as that cheetah walks past. Shame Johan is breaking his back trying to keep those cheetah in the screen. And try. Stop like that for a little bit and just see what that wildebeest does. There's a wildebeest way down past the cheetah, and he's been giving his snort. Olivia, thanks for the question. So you're asking how old these two cheetahs are. So there's a number of ways that we can tell by looking at the facial features of the cheetah and the general condition of their face and the rest of their body. And of course also by the size, but obviously judging the size you'd have to have a point of reference. You'd have to know what another adult fully grown male cheetah looks like. Look at that, still looking back to where those lions chased them. And so by looking at the face of the cheetah, we look at scratches, and we look at scars across the face. And before I give too much away, I'm going to just try to actually show you before, or without just telling you. The problem is it's quite tricky to do whilst they're walking. But every now and then they do stop. Luckily for us, we know that these cheetah are about 8 or 9 years old. Oops. But I do want to show you what you can kind of look out for. And that's the tattedness of the ears. So the little pieces, little nicks and notches missing from their ears. And that'll be from fighting with one another, fighting with other males, fighting even with females. But also from just moving through this very thick vegetation, thorn bushes might hook their ears and cause a little cut, and then that cut might fester a little bit and cause the skin on the ear to make a big scar. So they get all these tattered looking ears from all the little scars on them. And then on the nose, they'll also get scratches across their nose. Sometimes their nostrils actually split.
As the sun goes down in Africa, for many, the day has just begun. Wild Earth is ready for the next brand new concept, and this time it's at night. A specialized thermal drone will take to the air under the cover of darkness. As it flies above the bush, it will be searching for hotspots on the ground.
We might have a leopard on the far right of this group of hyena.
The ground team will then be called to identify the animal.
It is a warthog. That's exactly what it is. So there we go. It was a warthog that was running away from... Sorry, Warty.
And of course, it is at this time when the big cats are on the hunt.
Yeah, James, just head a little bit more left.
Okay, copy. I'm going to go north around on Impala Road.
Okay, the lions are on the move, guys. Lions are chasing the wildebeest.
Wild Earth is looking for a sponsor who can help turn this show to a long-running series. If you are interested, then head over to our website to find out more. wildearth.tv/sponsors. Across southern and East Africa, the Endangered Wildlife Trust works tirelessly to save species, protect critical habitats, and benefit people. Join the EWT in returning wildlife to the wild. Go to ewt.org.za to find out more and follow our socials to see how you can get involved. Protecting forever, together.
I love being a camera for Wild Earth. The animals coming right up close to you, especially like lions. Sometimes you get nervous, but you have to go with the flow. My favorite animal to film is the elephant because of how big it is. But when it's really up close to you, it's one animal that you would say, I really respect you.
Guys, just watch what's happening. See, watch the elephant, watch the lions. See, the first ones to run are the cubs. Can you see them? They are right here. I'm not sure how scared you were, but I was quite nervous. Absolutely incredible.
Expect the unexpected here on Wild Earth daily.
So we actually did a little round around Tswalu while we were off here, and now we coming back to the dam. It is quite quiet this morning, but as you know, we're trying our best. At the dam, I'm going to stop for a moment and look at those hippos. Yeah, there we go. So they must have had a long night of feeding and walking around. As I was mentioning yesterday, they go out at night to go feed and can cover a very long distance. And they come back early in the morning, back in the water. It is very peaceful here. Yeah, there is a beautiful tree on the left with a leopard orchid. Sorry, I will ask Morgan if he can turn on the left there, or I will reposition. Maybe it will be better. Just want you to see that beautiful leopard orchid. There we go. Yeah, leopard orchids, we have beautiful flowers, but what is interesting there is it is on a dead leadwood. Elephants love to eat them, so if they can push the tree down, they will push it down and eat the leopard orchid. But this leadwood is so strong that it is difficult for... Sorry, I apologize about that, just another vehicle just passed us. It is difficult for an elephant to push that tree, leadwood or very strong trees. So if you look between the branches, it's the big patch on top of the tree. Yeah, let's go back to our hippos. looking at us. Yeah, they spend a lot of time in the water during the day. They will go out during the day and lie next to the dam in the sun when it's a bit cooler. But it's better for them to be in the water. They are quite amazing. They can stay underwater for up to 6 minutes. And some people might find them funny looking, but they're quite amazing animals and quite fast. Faster than me, definitely. They can run up to 36 kilometers per hour. So we're just relaxing there. Levi, you would like to know if hippos mostly live in water? Yes, they're dependent on water. They need to spend most of the time of the day in the water. The reason of that is that they have a very thin skin and that can get burned quite quickly. But they will spend most of the day in the water, but they will go out at night because there's no sun, so the skin doesn't get damaged, to go feed. So they eat grass and they can cover a very big amount of distance during the night. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 10, maybe over 10 kilometers in one night. So they can travel quite far at night, but they will always come back in the water in the morning. Yeah, I was mentioning also yesterday that they eat grass, and it is difficult for them when there's big drought. The issue is not the water, because they will always find a little puddle of water somewhere, but it's mainly the food. When there's no rain for a long time and the grass is dying and the other herbivores eat the grass as well, if they don't find enough grass around the water areas, they might starve to death. This is actually what happened a few years ago. Lots of hippo unfortunately died during that drought. It was quite nice for all the predators though. Also, it's quite important to not have too many water holes or dams close to each other, because during winter what happens is that there's so many animals spending time around water, is that they eat all the food around the dams and the water source. So it gets more difficult then to find food. The reason is most of the animals will stick around the dam, eat everything around the dam, and also next to the other dam which is close by. So between these two dams there will be not a lot of food left. So I know that in the Kruger Park they're currently closing man-made water holes because it did cause some damage to the environment. They are very quiet, these hippos this morning. We are hoping that maybe something else is going to show up. Yeah, so I was mentioning earlier, we did a round around the Tswalu camp. We didn't see much. I think after, when we leave here, we might go back to Djuma and see what we can find on that side. I hope Andrew is having a bit more luck on Djuma. It is quite quiet for us this morning. Candace, you would like to know if the water is not too cold for the hippos? No, they are used to it. They have quite a big amount of fat also underneath the skin that keep them warm. So they are used to it. It's not really a problem for them. But you will see in winter they will go out when it gets a bit warmer and lie in the sun a bit and then go back in the water. So they like to lie like when you go on the beach and just lie on the beach and then go back in the sea. So it's a bit the same thing. They like to go out and lie next to the water to warm up a bit and then go back in the water. I'm still looking for a pied kingfisher. Didn't found one yet. Yesterday I tried at Twin Dam. So hopefully today I might be lucky and see a pied kingfisher. They are quite entertaining while they fish. The way they dive in the water to catch the fish, it's quite nice to see, as you know. It is getting a bit warmer now with the sun getting a bit more high in the sky. There's some Natal spuff out there making a bit of a noise. They're unfortunately not doing lot of. They're lying there. They're just relaxing. It's not very entertaining, unfortunately. It'd be nice if one can do a big yawn. We didn't hear also any alarm calls this morning. We got a bit excited when we heard the lion roaring earlier, but then no luck. Sorry, Vivian, I didn't get that. If FC just can send the question again. Vivian, you would like to know if there's any crocodiles in this dam. Yeah, so we didn't see one this morning yet, but there are definitely crocodiles in this dam. It is a little bit more difficult to see when they are in the water, but they might go out when it gets a bit warmer. There's one crocodile. It is a bit far. I don't know if you will be able to see on camera. He's currently swimming. So it is just right of the tree in the distance. I'm not sure if you will be able to see a bit more right. There we go. There's one crocodile. Thank you, Vivian. You made me look and we found one. It is a bit far, unfortunately. It is currently moving. It is quite a big croc. I hope you guys can see. It looks quite clear. It's moving quite fast. Moving towards the sun, so he might get out on the other side of the dam and warm up a bit. I've been lucky before to see a crocodile catch a fish, but that's about it. I never saw one catch an impala or another antelope, but just seeing one crocodile catch a fish was quite amazing. The way they shake the fish to kill it and then eat it. It's quite violent to see. There we go, some hippos making some sound. Everybody's waking up a bit now. The crocodile is still moving. Is now passing the trees. Okay, so we're going to try and go back to Juma and see what we can find. We will send you to Grant at Finda.
Welcome back, everyone. And I'm just waiting for those cheetah to go around the corner because I'd love to show you a fresh, steaming hot cheetah track. I think, Johan, I think we settled on this one. We tied on that one. Okay, so these tracks, of course, are steaming hot. And I just wanted to quickly point out a few things that show us what makes these cheetah tracks different from other tracks. So one way is to look at this main pad. And from the angle, it will be quite difficult for you to see, but so this is the main pad. And at the back of the main pad, we know that all of the cats have got 3 lobes. So you'll see there's one lobe over there. And then there's a smaller middle lobe. And then there's the third lobe on the other side. And then that comes to a point over there. And you see a little bit of a tuft of sand over here. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 toes with the main pad. So going that direction. Now what's quite important to note as well with the cheetah track is these little marks there. There's one over there. And there's one over there. And there's one very faint one over there. So only 3 visible here. But those are from the claws. So the claws of a cheetah are always partially exposed. And so when they walk, they flick the dirt forward in the direction that they're going. And so the claws sticking out, plus the 3 lobes at the back of the main pad of the paw, those 3 lobes plus the claws sticking out, that's the clearest indication to us that this is a cheetah track. So we know leopard and lion, they also have the 3 lobes at the back of the pad. But remember, lion and leopard, their claws fully retract. So you won't see the claw marks sticking out in front of the paw like that. So I hope you could see it well. I mean, we've parked the car on quite an angle to be able to get to show you down below. And I thought it would be quite nice to just show you a very steaming hot cheetah track. So we're going to carry on and try and catch up to them because I'm sure that they're still on the move. And they might do some more exciting things for us. Charlie, you're asking when these cheetah are likely to hunt again. So they ate a fully grown impala ewe yesterday, which is about a 50 to 60 kilogram animal. But of which there's probably 5 to 40 kilograms of meat. And that will we into the sighting, or is it rotation? You must get will have fully filled there. Both of them. Now we're going to send you across to Andrew and Juma.
So everybody, we earlier mentioned about the leopard drag mark that was seen in this area, and then also the guys, they looked around here, and of course there is a drag mark. I also saw that, and they didn't actually get the lucky, the guys. So, but it's got to be something around in these grasses that we cannot, or they cannot find. I'm gonna take my chances also, see if maybe I come lucky of probably the leopard that drags something. We're not sure what it is, but it's got to be well hidden in grasses. Sometimes leopard can drag a kill too far away. Just kind of listen to the birds, because I also heard a So it looks like I'm going to have to drive down there again. So that's where that hornbill's calling in. Not sure if because of that is the same cat we are looking for. But there's a hornbill calling back there. So, Jackson, you're asking, is that easy to spot a track when you're off-roading? That's very difficult to spot the tracks there. So we rely on the falling grasses. Wherever the animal have walked, especially if it's a drag mark, so the grass more likely to fall sideways towards where the animal have moved into. Or if you got a lucky of an open patch where there's sand, possibly a chance you can still spot the tracks. But then, yeah, it's not a simple. So it's a very dense here, thick bush. I'm gonna try get in. But you know, it's actually, the tracks look like a female. It doesn't look like a male to me, so let's find out.
South African Guide of the Year has been an event that we have all been looking forward to. However, South Africa has gone into lockdown level 4, which means we will no longer be able to hold the ceremony this week. The assessments in the bush will still carry on, however the awards will take place later in the year when it is safe to do so. We are looking after those who look after our natural world. Thank you for your understanding. We really do appreciate your support.
As one of the industry's best and FAGASA-endorsed training institutes, NJ Moorfield Guide College produces professional guides of exceptional caliber and gives students from around the world an incredible experience. NJ Moore offers courses to suit all types of interests. The full-length career course results in a FAGASA-accredited qualification and the option of a 6-month internship at one of Moore Family Collection's luxury safari lodges. Shorter courses are a great introduction for those considering a career in field guiding or even a life-enriching experience in your gap year. With spaces still available in July, don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to live your African dream.
My name is Lauren and I'm currently working in Djuma Private Game Reserve here in South Africa. I love answering your questions during the live safaris. It's my favorite part. It feels like you're on the vehicle with me and I'm able to teach you exactly what you want to know. If you want to ask a question on Wild Earth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, you must go to the live safari page and ask your question below the live feed.
We have a baby pangolin, a baby pangolin. This is off the charts. This animal is about from your fingertips to your elbow. That's the total length of this animal. This is unreal. This is unreal. This is unreal. This is like now my 4th Christmas in a week. We should do this more often.
Tune into Wild Earth every single day. It's in your nature.
So everybody, looks like we got that cat. And then it's not actually easy visual, but to us, we saw a little bit of that. Maybe she's not a very relaxed cat though. I'm not sure which one yet, but we're looking at her from way distance. You can only see the ears for now, so we're gonna take time and just to see how she's gonna maybe accept our company at the end. What you can hear on the background, that's a Natal Franklin. It's probably alarm calling because of that cat. It's keeping an eye on us, so even though we kept distance, so you can tell that it's not actually very relaxed. So I think we're gonna be watching this cat from this distance. There was an elephant's way distances also, trumpeting it back there. So we only spot her, and then we're not sure where she have put her kills. Probably not on trees because there's nothing that we see around here. It's probably still on the ground somewhere well hidden, covered up with grasses, I think. I hardly see even her eyes, but they're still there, see through grasses, even the nostrils as well. So Robbie commenting, saying this is actually a beautiful scene. It is actually. Especially that she's on a greater, beautiful environment, her own environment, where it's in nature, where you look through these old branches. You could even see her whiskers now. So we also, this is kind of a comfortable zone for her. But if she feels like it's too much, then we're going to see that she's going to move away, but not right now. So there is also already identity of this little leopard. Some say it looks like a kalamba, which actually, it wouldn't really surprise me if it's a kalamba, because this is a territory around here. We are just northwest of Kalagopende, so it's still make very sense though. So she's getting a little bit of annoyed by that Natal Franklin. Looks like it's actually calling close to her, and that cat is not actually really wanting to hunt that bird at the moment. But I never seen her so worried like this. So everybody, we're gonna stay here, and we're gonna be sending you across back to Pinda with a cheetah.
So these cheetah have settled down now, and they were both lying completely flat for about 20 seconds, and then they, I think almost as if they realized that they'd actually just been chased by lions, they both sat upright and looked back in the direction that they've come from. And now it's almost as if there were no cheetah here at all.
Chad and Matt, we now lost visual of animals. They're not convinced. I think we're going to take Tswalu south towards Mananyala, go up.
So, yeah, you can just see some faint spots in the grass there, and seems as though they've found a nice shady spot. They were starting to hold their mouths open and pant a little bit with the tongue out, trying to cool down. So getting back to the question about when they will eat again, and so these two males now, I was just saying that impala ewe that they ate, if they got about half of the meat each, probably just less than 20 kilograms each, I'd say probably closer to 15 kilograms of meat each in their stomachs. That will last them comfortably without them having to even think about hunting again for 2 days. That will digest in their stomachs. And so they won't have to actively go and hunt or look for food again. So they can spend the next 2 days resting, building energy and strength for their next hunt, but they can also concentrate on maintaining their territory, so making sure that there's been no intruders, no other cheetah coming to try and take a piece of their territory. And they can also look for females. If they pick up on the scent of a female in the area, then they can go and investigate, see if she might be ready or willing to mate. It's quite a nice view of a blue waxbill, Johan, on that small thorn bush just to the left of the cheetah. You see that first thorn bush right next to the cheetah? There we go. 2 of them. Soon to disappear. Gone. Yeah, so these two male cheetahs, their focus and priority will be to recuperate energy, rest, and stay safe, of course. I mean, they were resting on a mound. I think the only thing that disturbed them last night was some hyenas, because we went to check where they were feeding on that impala and where they'd left the carcass of that impala, and there was just hyena tracks and a mark where the hyenas dragged the remains of that kill. But otherwise, there was basically nothing left. They'd crunched all the bones. Even the stomach was gone. I didn't even see where the stomach contents was left. Tabile, you're asking if a cheetah is faster than a lion, and they most certainly are. Cheetahs are the fastest land mammal, reaching speeds of about 110 kilometers. That's the fastest that's ever been recorded, in the region of 110, 120 kilometers. Whereas a lion's top speed is somewhere in the region of about 75 to 85 kilometers per hour. So cheetah have a good 20 kilometers per hour of speed on a lion. The problem is whether they can detect the lion in time. And lions are excellent hunters. They are very good at using their camouflage, making sure that they're quiet, and also using the wind to their advantage. And so, unfortunately, they are able to sneak up too close to the cheetah, where the cheetah doesn't even have a chance to actually run away. And so that difference in speed, basically lions can eliminate that speed difference by sneaking up very close to the cheetah. So if the cheetah can see the lion, there's no problem at all, because the cheetah is much faster than the lion. But lions know that as well. They know that a cheetah is faster than them. So they will, if they are able to spot a cheetah from a long distance, they will sneak up to it, make sure that it doesn't detect them. That's how they are able to catch them. Holy Rosary School, this is a massive shout out goes to you guys. Thank you so much for watching and learning while you are in lockdown. That is just so pleasing to hear. I'm so glad. There's lots of things that you could be doing other than watching Wild Earth and learning about animals. So I'm very pleased to hear that you are enjoying the show and learning at the same time. Yeah, so unfortunately the cheetah have now found a place that they feel quite comfortable. They've got a good vantage point here of the surrounding area. They can look out for danger. And with the long grass here, going back to the lions stalking up to the cheetah, this long dry grass, although offers good camouflage and cover, it's quite noisy. If someone or something has to walk through this long grass, it's really, really tough to be quiet, to sneak, because this grass brushes against the body. It crunches now that it's getting drier. It crunches under the foot, and so the cheetah will be able to, even when they're asleep, they will be able to hear anything approaching them. But they're also lying on a slight crest. I mean, it's not that obvious, but they're lying on a slight rise, and so they can see the area surrounding them. And so they've got a perfect spot. They've got a bit of shade. The shade is going to slowly move as the sun rises higher. But I think for now, we've had an amazing time with these cheetah. I can't believe we had cheetah, lions, and just before that we had hyenas. So I think we're going to leave these cheetah to settle down here. Another vehicle has joined us, and we're going to leave them to enjoy the cheetah sighting, and we're going to go and see what else we can find for you this morning.
We're currently on the Philemon Scott line, still driving around. I'm very happy that Andrew found a leopard. I think that's great. We're struggling a bit this morning. We covered quite a good amount of roads, and so far no luck. We did got a very quick sighting of pearl-spotted owlet, but as you know, they are very difficult to catch on camera because as soon as you stop, they generally fly away. I'm going to stop here 2 minutes with his this beautiful bachelor herd of impala. Yeah, sorry about that. That would be a better view if I move. Yeah, we're currently making their way in the block there. Looks like the animals are very shy with us today. So you will notice on the rump at the back there's like a little M, a dark line that forms an M. This is actually a communication sign called a follow me sign. Impalas are very successful because they are also mixed feeders. That means they eat grass and leaves. So even when they are in an area where there's no grass, they can still eat leaves. So this is why they can succeed, and this is why there's so many of them as well. Yeah. So we're going to make our way on this road still and see what we can find.
So everybody, we're still sitting here, very still, and then she's now started to take it easy. As you can see, she's trying to even close her eye, take a little bit of a nap there. And the bird hasn't really stopped giving her a little bit of a shout. But the guys, they say that also was a male leopard track that was seen not far from here. So we're not sure who that could be. So it just looks like it was a lot of activity happening last night around here. Somebody was getting hunted, and then we haven't yet discovered what she has killed. Probably one of the antelope, maybe, and we don't know where it is at the moment. We're just gonna stay here. Probably she's gonna show us if there's a time for that for us to see it. So you're asking, do leopards have a unique spot? So all leopards had a rosette spot. Pretty much to the top of their body are rosette spot. Down below belly, they're just a solid spot, black dot. But then of course unique spots around their faces that's where they most been identified, looking at these spots around their faces. So around their faces, the spot are unique very much. else here. I think if I understand your question, you want to know what would be the chances the leopard habituated to the vehicles. And a lot of time when it comes to that situation, the animal that they grow around in this area, they always grow around the vehicles from probably age of 4 months, 5 months. This is when they get to see the vehicle quite a lot. They grow up with this kind of experience of a company such as a car. But it comes to the point where then it's probably not a golden rule, but it's a procedure of how do you view them from their vehicles. So then no standing up from the vehicles so that you're able to enjoy them. But if it's ever of a very strange movement that I don't understand them, they would show any kind of like a different behavior of moving or growl. So if they don't want to move away from that spot. So yeah, that's the way they leopards, or most animals in general, those elephants, so they always introduced to the vehicles from very young age. So we're going to stay put. Hopefully our cat will show us where the kill is. In the meantime, let's go across to Mike in Brighton.
So we have made our way back towards Ndlovu Dam after a bit of an experience that we just had. I mean, the impala's not here anymore. It seems to have moved off, but we went to follow up on what we thought was lions, and after being growled at, so we lost signal. Unfortunately, it's in a bit of a low signal area. We lost signal, but had some growling in the distance, so we went and followed, and we found a carcass in a tree. So it sounds like, or it seems like, there were probably 2 leopards fighting over an impala, a female impala that might have been the mother of this young one that was here this morning. And we also disturbed a hyena that was under the tree. So it was really exciting for us to be able to follow sounds and eventually find the origin of the sounds, which I thought was lions, but it seems like it was a couple of hyenas fighting with maybe a couple of leopards. And I was super excited because it was Mpho's first time to track and find lions or a predator on foot here or on bushwalk at all. So it was very exciting. But now we've come back here just to enjoy the quiet after that quite adrenaline experience. We've got the grey heron sitting on the dead tree over the water. Do not see the impala where it's gone off to, or where those hyenas have gone. I'm sure once people started moving around the camp that impala decided to move off, hopefully not directly into the mouth of hyena. We also had alarm calling 5 minutes ago or so of lots of impalas just to our south. So I do wonder if maybe one or other of those leopards that was fighting over that impala carcass is maybe making its way towards here to have a drink at the dam. I guess we won't know until a bit later. It's unlikely that it'll come in the middle of the day. A few impalas are coming down to the dam. Oops.
The annual Safari Guide of the Year competition aims to create awareness for those men and women who dedicate their lives to tourism and wildlife. This year's event will be held at Marataba, a breathtaking privately managed section of the Marakele National Park in South Africa's Limpopo province. In celebration of this, Wild Earth and Marataba Luxury Lodges are offering all explorers a chance to win a 3-night stay at Marataba Safari Lodge for you and a friend. In addition to a spectacular land-based safari, Marataba Luxury Lodges offer an opportunity for guests to cruise peacefully along the Matlabas River, watching the animals as they drink and wallow. The lodge offers you a chance to lie by the pool or enjoy a spa treatment, and one night could be spent sleeping out under the stars in a luxurious treehouse. Sign up to be a Wild Earth explorer before the 30th of June, and it could be you heading off on a long-awaited getaway. Wild Earth Explorers. It's in your nature. The Wildlife and Environment Society of South Africa, WESA, encourages people to care for the earth. Through innovative projects, they aim to reverse the serious issues that we face in the world today. One of these projects is Green Coast, a proudly South African award for sensitive and well-managed coastal sites. This sustainability project protects our national coastlines while providing unemployed youth with a love for their environment and a hope for the future. WESA is a membership and volunteer-supported organisation. Every supporter is helping to change the only earth we have. Visit our website to see how you can help care for our earth.
It's a huge privilege to be in these incredible places with these amazing animals. I love filming lions. When they do get up and do something, it's always spectacular. When they are playing, are incredibly fun to watch, especially subalterns and cubs. I love being in the bush and working in these incredible places with these amazing animals. We want to bring it to you so that you can almost feel like you're right there and be able to experience it and enjoy it the way we are.
So, everybody, as you can still see that our leopard is still there in his shed. There's one car actually wanted to respond to this leopard. We're just gonna see when I get here. She may be even more a little scared. But we'll see if that happens, then we're gonna probably give it a break for now. Hopefully maybe later on we'll find out. Because that car can hear it, but then you can see how she's checking around a lot. She maybe been disturbed by that male that Trek's been seen around in that area. So she's moving down there, everybody. I'm not gonna push her too much since it's a 2-vehicle. So here you asking how much does a leopard weigh? So female weigh anything around 50, 58, 60 kg female, but the male they weigh probably up to 80. Some can even more than that if they well developed body very well. Look at this dune pool. Sometimes some of the leopard can get up to 90, but usually males anything from 75 or 80 kg. So we're gonna get an update from the guys. They're gonna stick with her. For 2 car for now, I don't think is a good idea for us. So we don't want to scare her. We're gonna give it a break for now. So everybody, let's move across to Grant in Phinda.
Welcome back everyone to And Beyond Phinda, where we've decided to come and stop in at one of the water holes on the reserve that we actually have signal at. And we've got an African darter, that bird that's moving around quite a lot. Look at that thin long neck. It's actually got something in its beak, something really small. Might be a little fish, actually. You see how it's shaking its head? I think it's a fish. It's either a fish or a frog, and the darter is just making sure that it's dead before it swallows it. How still it is. There's a beautiful reflection on the water. Oh, dropped it. That neck is fascinating. I mean, look at the length of its neck. Look, oh, there it goes, down the hatch. Swallowed it. I wonder, because it's been on the bank for a while, so I'm not too sure if that darter actually caught whatever it just ate on the... It looks like it's picking stuff up off the bank there. Because I was just thinking, it's been on the bank since we got here, so it's not come from the water. Yeah, it's definitely picking things up off the side. I wonder what it's eating.
Missionary laying down natural grass was not.
It actually looks like it's eating some vegetation there. Or maybe even like some hippo dung that was flicked around there. So there's two white-breasted cormorants that have also joined. You can see that easily. Notice them by that striking white patch. And they look like they're collecting nesting material. So at a watering hole nearby, there's some big dead trees. Yeah, you see this one taking off? And it's got a little bit of vegetation in its beak, and it's actually flying off towards another waterhole that's got some big dead trees, and the cormorants are actually nesting there at the moment. There's a big colony of them nesting in the trees. You might have seen it on the on Wild Earth before. There was an elephant actually scratching on one of those trees not too long ago. And it's so interesting because these cormorants seem to come to this waterhole to collect nesting material and then going back to the other waterhole. Kate, you're asking if there are any flamingos on Phinda. And at the moment, no, but we do have flamingos visiting us occasionally. There is Lake Sabaya close by, that there are quite a few flamingos that stay there, and Lake St. Lucia, and so they are in the area, and just from time to time we see flamingos and actually pelicans as well come to Pinde every now and then, but there's no resident flamingos at any of our waterholes. But from time to time they do visit the reserve. I'm fascinated by that darter. I think it's eating vegetation, which is quite unusual. They mostly eat aquatic invertebrates like frogs and fish. I just want to check in my book if it says anything about them eating any vegetation. There's also a small crocodile just to the left of the darter that's just sunning itself. Somehow young crocodiles are very cute. I don't really know how, but I guess it's probably because they look quite innocent, and the Johan is going nice and close to that. But I mean, you can see just behind if you look just behind that crocodile, it looks like a small pile of elephant dung, and so you can see here just how small that crocodile is in comparison to a pile of elephant dung. Yeah, in the bird book, I mean, it says the African darter eats mainly fish, also frogs, but it says nothing about vegetation. But I mean, that darter is definitely picking up little pieces of something there. Sophia, the cormorants, they are quite big and bulky birds. I mean, you saw that one that Johan managed to get on film taking off, and you saw it had to like run along the edge of not the edge, it had to run along the surface of the water to gain enough momentum to take off. And that's because they are quite heavy-bodied birds considering their size. They are around about 3 kilograms. So males being slightly bigger than females. Males just over 3 kilos and females just under 3 kilos. And so they're more at home in the water. They're much better suited to moving in the water. So they've got massive, if you imagine a duck's foot with the webbing between the toes, they've got a really big webbed foot that they use to kick and propel themselves forward under the water. And then a very streamlined build with a thin, long head and a long neck. A very narrow body, so they move quite gracefully through the water, and they're able to kick and turn, and they're quite agile through the water. Oh, and speaking of turn, there's a tern flying above. Looks like a whiskered tern. It's coming across. Do you see it? Yeah, Johan. Might be quite a tricky one to try and follow with the camera. Don't fly away. Oh, I thought it might. No. Sorry, guys. It was a whiskered tern. I thought it might do a little bit of hunting around the edge of the waterhole here. Angela, you're asking if there are secretary birds on Phinda. There certainly are. But, I mean, if you look at the surrounding area, well, before Johan goes in tight, you'll see, I know it's quite grassy in appearance, but there's lots of shrub and some sort of, well, you can see there's a drainage line on either side of this waterhole where the water has run and seeped into where it's sitting now. And so it's not really like a savanna type of habitat, which is what secretary birds prefer. They much prefer a thornfelt savanna type of habitat where there are thorn trees, open grassland, attracts a lot of little mice and scrub hares and snakes. And so that type of savanna habitat, that's an excellent area to go and look for secretary birds, and an area where we do see them, and habitats on Phinda that we do see secretary birds if we want to go and look for them. But this particular area where we are right now is not a great place for secretary birds. So we're going to just stick it out at this waterhole for a little bit longer.
It's still very quiet at the waterhole. Wind has really died down, but it's been very windy recently. And that wind is making this waterhole dry up very, very quickly. I was actually just looking now at how much the water has receded. And it's only going to get quicker and quicker as it gets drier and as the wind keeps blowing and more animals come to drink. But if you just look there towards that leadwood tree right on the edge of the waterhole, close to where that impala was sheltering earlier today, that whole area is now basically mud. It's no longer water, it's just mud. And it's quite shallow all the way to the end of those branches. So that's all going to become dry, hard mud, hopefully not too soon, but I think probably in the next few weeks. And this waterhole will shrink to about half of its size. And when you can imagine dozens of elephants every day coming to drink, 100 to 200 liters of water every day, plus buffaloes probably drinking 20 to 30 liters a day, and all the impala that drink, it's going to be dropping very, very quickly. And that doesn't even take into account all the animals that will mud wallow, taking mud and water on their skin away as well. This will hold water, I think, the whole season until the next rains, but potentially will get quite low. I think we're in for a couple of good years of rain though. So it should be interesting to watch how this waterhole develops. Maybe reeds will start growing, maybe lilies, water lilies. Perhaps we'll get larger fish populations starting to stabilize in the waterhole. With more fish, maybe a crocodile, perhaps the water will become clearer with more vegetation. It's really exciting to watch seasonal changes over long periods of time.
3, 2, 1, hold over, begin.
So we currently driving alongside quarantine. We went to check sandy patch there. Unfortunately, no luck. It seems like it's not a very good morning for myself. But that does happen. we still have a bit of time to try to find something. I apologize. The road is very bumpy here. I'm going to slow down a bit. I was hoping, coming to quarantine now, at least found some wildebeest or a nice male kudu, but so far it is very quiet. Hi Kayla, you would like to know why can't all the big cats get along? If I understood that clearly, yeah, basically they are actually fighting for food and territory, so they are different species, so that it's quite simple to understand why they don't get along. And as they fight for the same prey, they will always fight to get something to eat. So if one leopard kill an impala, for example, a lion will come and definitely steal that kill, because they need to eat to survive. So they give priority to survival instead of going along. I hope that answer explained it a bit. I was hoping to find some wildebeest. There's a little group of wildebeest here. And a beautiful waterbuck actually sitting at the back. So this is an alarm call. What's happening here is that a little bit further down there's a group of people having a coffee break. So this is what they are looking at. Unfortunately, it's not a lion or a leopard. If we go... Yeah, it is a good indication to hear wildebeest snorting like that. Unfortunately, this time it's not for the right reason. And we have a beautiful waterbuck male sitting there, warming up. Waterbuck are highly dependent on water. They will always be around 5 kilometers from a water area. So if you look here, there's a wildebeest and a waterbuck. For the waterbuck, it's only the male who have horns, but for the wildebeest, it's the male and the female have horns. So it is easier to identify a male or female waterbuck than a wildebeest. Yeah, we've been driving a lot this morning. We try our best. We will continue trying now. But we did cover quite a big part of the reserve and Chitwa as well. Hi, Nicole, you would like to know if wildebeest can run? How fast? Oh, they are very fast, sorry. Obviously they can run, but they can run around, yeah, just around 80 kilometers an hour, maybe slightly faster. They are one of the fastest antelope in the Lofeld. Yeah, so I would say just past 80 kilometers an hour, maybe a little bit more. They are very good prey species for lions, but they're not that easy to catch. But they are quite curious, so it happens sometimes when there's a lion around, and they see the lion, but instead of moving away from the lion, they tend to approach the lion. So it happened in the past that they approached so close to the lion that the lion started chasing them and they got killed. Well, one got killed. Okay, so we're going to continue driving around. We will send you to Andrew for a quick update.
So we're bumbling around, but I'm going to head down to the Galago pen just to see if there's anything going to be there. We give it a time for that leopard sighting there. She's not actually very okay. Something going on that she's not happy with. Probably that maybe something happened to her kill. We didn't even see the kill. What she killed, what kind of kill is it? So we're probably going to check that out later on. For now, we're going to be looking for something else. So sorry about that. It happens that I drove into kind of a very steep little area. But we are now here. A little pen. Just gonna take it easy here, just listen what's going on. In the meantime, we're sending you across to Pinda with Grant.
Oh, it's quite interesting to hear that Kalamba was not that comfortable with the car being around. It's quite unusual behavior. But it's a nice reminder that these are completely wild animals that we are dealing with, and so they will behave in such a way to remind us that they are still wild animals and we cannot get too comfortable with them. We've just been doing some birding around this waterhole, and there's a stunning view of a grey heron that's busy preening its feathers in the sun there. And been stretching its wings out, getting in between all those big primary feathers. Cool. And then we've just repositioned ourselves on this dam wall to try and show you some of the hippos that are in the waterhole. And obviously, as you've joined us, there was a tiny little baby that was actually lying on the mom's back. One of these hippos here is a big cow, and there was a really young hippo lying on its back. Yeah, that was the little head. Oh no, just out of your shot on the left. But we're just gonna stay here for a little bit longer and just keep an eye on these hippos. There's the baby on the left-hand side.
Hello everyone, my name is Elmarie and I'm very excited about this drive. My husband Kleinhan bought me this Ticket to Dream for my birthday as a present because he knows I watch Wild Earth all the time. I couldn't be more happy. I've never had such a great present in my life before.
If you want to go on safari with a Wild Earth guide whilst honing your bush knowledge and of course featuring in one of our shows, then head over to our website.
Okay, my favorite part about Wild Earth is the characters, and then of course I love the bush and I love Africa, and just the fact that I can follow every day, that's one of my favorite things.
Sign up to be a Wild Earth explorer and you could be making your first ever on-screen appearance.
Being on a live drive on Wild Earth is really great because you can actually now smell the bush, see the animals in real life. You have to really make a plan and just do it.
Hi everybody, I'm Tiana, I'm from Johannesburg, and I am one of Wild Earth's biggest fans.
Been watching for 4 years, DG here from the Ozarks.
It's been 4 years for me and I'm not leaving anytime soon.
It's given me a time away from the hassles of the city, and it's given me a connection to a place that has stolen my heart, which is Africa.
Last year we lost our son, and now we're just watching Wild Earth. Love to all you guys.
You are reminding us of the role that we play in nature conservation, each and every one of us. You have reconnected myself to a dream that I had as a child to get involved in nature conservation, and for that I'm really grateful for as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
My name is Steve, and one of my favorite things at Wild Earth is getting questions from you. The type of questions that I really like are those ones that really help us to unpack and understand and really integrate the ecological knowledge and fully appreciate the importance that animals such as these Cape buffalo bring to the ecosystem. If you want to ask a question on Wild Earth, you're going to have to register on the website. But once registered, just head on over to the live safari page and enter your question under the live feed.
These elephant bulls have just come to Ndlovu Dam, and what was super interesting is that they walked exactly where we were sitting a moment ago, and we had just had a little bit of coffee and a biscuit, and I think they could smell that because they stopped for a long time where we were having our tea and coffee, and they were sniffing and touching the ground. But now they've come to have a drink. They're actually walking towards us, and the wind is blowing directly towards us from them, and we're in the shade, so they probably can't see us. It'll be interesting to see how close they get to us. We're basically standing on the edge of our camp. We've decided to basically walk somewhere else, and then we saw these elephants coming, so we've come back to them. Look how they very tactile with each other, touching. Oh, I think they've spotted us. Maybe not. These are all young males. Young males tend to be in groups like this. None of these are, I think, in their 30s yet even. They're all quite small. I mean, small is a relative term for an elephant. They're absolutely massive animals, but for an elephant, they're quite small. All drinking in the shallows there where the water is not too muddy.
Question, Hannah, how much water do elephants drink per day?
Hannah, I believe these elephants, not being too big, will probably drink about 100 liters of water a day. But the very biggest elephants might drink up to 200 liters or even more in a day. See what they're doing right now, Hannah? They are busy sucking water up into their trunk and then spraying it into their mouths. And now a lot of it spills back down. But each time they suck up, maybe it's 10 liters, something like that. Depends on the size of the trunk, I suppose. But then some elephants are also struggling with their trunk at times, especially young elephants. You watch them, they don't really know what to do with it, so they dip it in the water, they try and probably suck up some of the water, but then they get it in their nose and they cough and they splutter and they sneeze and they trumpet. It's definitely a skill which takes time to perfect. It's not so different from sucking up water into a straw and then blocking the straw to stop it from falling out. So these are young bulls, which means they're probably going to have a bit of a drink. They maybe stay around and have some pushing and shoving, maybe even, it's a bit cold, it's a bit windy, so I don't think they're going to mud wallow, but they might go and do some pushing and shoving at the edge of this dam. It's a good place to socialize. So it looks like at least two of them are starting to leave, heading in our direction. We've got lots of green trees on the northern end of our camp. So maybe they're going to come and feed on the edge of our camp. Australia, that's a good question, and it all depends on how many elephants are in the area. I've seen a bachelor herd of elephants that was probably about 20 elephants, somewhere around there, but I suppose they could get much larger. If the number of elephants is extremely big, you might get 30 or 40 elephant bulls in a loose herd or a loose group moving around. And here in Pridelands, I think the biggest group I've seen is about 10 or 12 elephant bulls walking together. So this is what, 6, I think? 6 elephant bulls, maybe 5 or 6. It's kind of a normal size, but there's no very big. Goodness gracious, I have to apologize everyone. It's very windy. Well, it's not very windy, but the wind is just picking up every now and again, and so you might be catching that on the audio, and our signal might be breaking up a little bit. I do apologize. It is the bush, as you can see. Sometimes the gremlins are very active. Oh, some of our friends are coming to investigate as well. Some little Franklin were walking behind us. I thought they were going to come and say hi to us. They're very friendly. There they fly across the screen. We have not seen Kumo. I don't know if, for those of you who've been viewing for a long time, you might remember an elephant bull called Kumo. We haven't seen him for a while. And his best mate, I like to say is his best mate, Limpy, the elephant bull with one short leg. So I haven't seen them for a while. Probably busy exploring new territories. But Ezulwini, the massive elephant bull with his huge tusks, was seen yesterday at Leopard Dam. So maybe he'll be back in this area soon. And Susan, of course, Susan, the elephant, the feisty elephant. I haven't seen her for a while either. Now, I think because of all the rain we had, there's lots of water holes and there's plenty of food. So elephants are sort of ranging far and wide. But once it gets later in the winter and there's less water and food available, I think those elephants, the ones that we've come to know and really enjoy, will start making their way back to these core areas where they always know that there's water and where there's always food. So I'm sure we'll start to see Susan, Limpy, Elisha Keys, maybe even Kumo coming back here to Pridelands and these waterholes. These elephants look like they're finished drinking now. They're starting to turn away from the water. So you can imagine now, if each of these elephants drank 100 litres, that's 600 litres gone. That's not a small amount of water. And this is only a fraction of the elephants that come today. Oh, the wind's picking up again. I think this is a good opportunity for us to send you over to Grant at Penda.
Thanks, Mark. Well, we are still at our waterhole. No water has left the waterhole, not 600 litres at least. And we've just been doing a little bit of birding. See these two hopping around the grasses on the edge of this waterhole. Just looking for little insects and maybe little tadpoles. Trying to look at those enormous feet. See the skinny long legs, but massive, massive feet. And quite dull, plain plumage. You'll see the different shades of brown and then that white, cream white belly. So these are two juvenile African jacanas. Pretty busy though, like as they're walking, they're pecking, grabbing little morsels. Interesting, they're pecking at the up on the grass stalks, but also down closer to the water. They seem to be just grabbing little insects, nothing big enough for us to actually see. It's just tiny little insects that are clinging to the grass. Oh, if you go to that white egret, Johan, there's a crocodile just behind it. Also quite a small crocodile. So there's a great egret.
You see the croc?
Yeah, you can see the crocodile. It's literally directly behind the egret. I can't see it with my naked eye, but with the binoculars and through the camera you can. And that great egret also foraging for food, grabbing little. Come down below here, Johan. There's a heron that's just.
Got it?
Have you got it?
Yeah.
It's caught a frog. Oh, it looks like it's dropped it though. Did it drop it or swallow it?
I didn't see it.
I was scrambling for my binoculars and I don't know if... I don't know if it swallowed it or if it dropped it. But it flew in with a frog hanging out of its beak. I'm hoping that it managed to eat it. So there's a green-backed heron. It's just a really nice variety of bird species at this waterhole. There's the great egret. There's this green-backed heron. We had the jacanas. I can hear giant kingfisher in the trees somewhere around the edge of the waterhole. Yeah, the darter, the white-breasted cormorants, blacksmith lapwing. There were some squawker herons as well in the longer reeds, but they were not really visible to us. There's little grebes as well. just so relaxing sitting at this waterhole, listening to the hippos puffing out every now and then, and all the birds calling. There's not a breath of wind. The water's like a mirror. So I think we've managed to see most of what's going on at this waterhole. So we're just going to slowly carry on from here and see what else we can find on our route back towards home.
So everybody, we are sitting here at the Kalahari Dam. Elephants are about to drink, or they are drinking at the moment, some of them just moving along the edge of the dam, but coming slightly towards us. Look like they're having an early drink. We're probably going to drink more again during the course of the day. Still, it's going to be a long day for them. Just gonna see, probably they're gonna still head towards us from there.
Okay, so we are with Talamati Pride. It was a bit of a struggle. We drove a long way around the reserve, and actually we are very close to camp. But we are very happy that we are in their company. So they're currently lying there. This is what lions like to do when it's getting warm. I suspect that maybe some of them are going to stand up soon because they're lying directly in the sun, so they will probably stand up and look for shade. Yeah, that's the first lions I see since I started yesterday. So it is very nice. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. Unfortunately, they're not moving too much at the moment. Just lying there. Oh, maybe on the left there's one standing up. Yes, it's amazing how camouflaged they are, yeah. Sometimes you can drive next to a lion lying flat in the long grass and not even see it. It's quite special, and it is a great advantage for them, of course, when hunting. We're going to do some bonding now. And lying down. Yeah, it happened in the past, like you just drive and you don't find a lion, and actually later on you do the same road and they were lying right there. It is also sometimes important to do a road in both directions, because there can be animals hiding behind one side of the bush and you don't see it from one side of the road, and it will be the opposite on the other side. But I'm very happy that we finally managed to see something interesting and kind of entertaining. But at least it's the animal part of the Big Five. As you know, the Big Five include lions, leopard, rhino, buffalo and elephant. Okay, we're going to wait here and see if they stand up and move in the shade or start moving. We will send you to Andrew with some elephant.
So everybody, we got a elephant herd here where they just finished drinking, but some of them already make their way out of this watering hole. Where they actually an early drink for them, and they're probably going to drink every now and then again, since it's going to be a long day for them. Reverse a little bit back. Get another view again of them. Just gonna see, looks like this is how they're gonna be moving away from us. They're moving through that dip. This is actually outlet on Gurry Dam. Somebody's not behaving well there. You can hear all of these noises. But they will sort themselves out. Looks like one of them, a tree-hawk leading still on front there. There's one of the young one. So probably this is how they're gonna move along this drainage line system, but to the south. It's just amazing how silent they can be. Such a big animal like this. And they're still disappearing. I'm not sure if I'll keep up with them. I'm going to try and see if we can get another look at them, if there's a chance on the other side.
As the sun goes down in Africa, for many, the day has just begun. Wild Earth is ready for the next brand new concept, and this time it's at night. A specialized thermal drone will take to the air under the cover of darkness. As it flies above the bush, it will be searching for hotspots on the ground.
We might have a leopard on the far right of this group of hyena.
The ground team will then be called to identify the animal.
It is a warthog. That's exactly what it is. So there we go. It was a warthog that was running away from... Sorry, Warty.
And of course, it is at this time when the big cats are on the hunt.
Yeah, James just head a little bit more left.
Okay, copy. I'm going to go north around on Impala Road.
Okay, the lions are on the move, guys. Lions are chasing the wildebeest.
Wild Earth is looking for a sponsor who can help turn this show to a long-running series. If you are interested, then head over to our website to find out more. wildearth.tv/sponsors. As one of the industry's best and FAGASA endorsed training institutes, NJ Moorfield Guide College produces professional guides of exceptional caliber and gives students from around the world an incredible experience. NJ Moore offers courses to suit all types of interests. The full-length career course results in a FAGASA accredited qualification and the option of a 6-month internship at one of Moore Family Collection's luxury safari lodges. Shorter courses are a great introduction for those considering a career in field guiding or even a life-enriching experience in your gap year. With spaces still available in July, don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to live your African dream.
Hi everyone, my name's Daniel Fisher and I'm going to be your guide this afternoon. I'm looking really forward to taking you through and showing you all the beautiful places here at and beyond Ngala. If you have any questions, please register on our website. Once registered, go to the live page feed and post your questions underneath the live feed. Join me on my next safari through and beyond Ngala on Wild Earth. Send me live questions through the Wild Earth website and I'll answer them live from the African bush.
So we are still with the Talamatis. They're still lying there. I'm really hoping that they're going to stand up soon to try to find better shade. It's getting quite warm and the sun is shining on them now. I apologize, there's some vehicles joining us. So I will stay quiet quickly until they can find a good position and then continue talking. Yeah, they are very relaxed, lying down. They spend a long time of the day resting, up to 18 hours, even 20 hours. And they're mostly active at night when it's cooler, obviously. So if there's another vehicle, it's quite difficult to spend time. Well, it's very nice to spend time with lions, but when they're lying like that and doing nothing, it's quite boring. But I'm sure they're going to start moving, hopefully to find some shade. It's amazing how it can be lion sighting when they move and when they are mobile. It's always interesting. They are very playful or they start stalking, but when they lie down like that, it's a completely different sighting. You can see the black patch behind the ear there, which is act as a follow me sign, which is a communication sign. So it's very important for them when they hunt to know where are the other members of the pride. So this is a way they can see where they are. There's one lion coming on the right there, so they will look at this black patch behind the ear to locate the other members of the pride while hunting. And lying down. It's going to be another hot day today, so they will probably spend the rest of the day in this area. And hopefully this afternoon they will start moving. Yeah, so if they start moving, it will be a little bit more entertaining this afternoon. Maybe we might be lucky and see a hunt. So make sure you join us this afternoon as well. It is very peaceful actually spending time with them when they're just lying there. We'll see one of them flicking the ears. It's obviously to push the flies away. And obviously on lions you will never find birds like oxpeckers eating the ticks of them, because obviously they will eat the oxpecker. I'm very happy that Andrew found a leopard today. We struggled a bit this morning. Finally, we're having a nice sighting now. But it's always nice to have at least one leopard that we can show during the show. Yeah, so as we did drive a lot on the reserve today, it was quite hard. But we still had fun. It was good for me to know a bit the reserve better. I would like to thank you so much for all your questions, and I really hope you're going to join us this afternoon. And I would like to say bye for now.
This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include